I don't really consider myself a runner, although I have run 4 marathons. There was one marathon, though, in particular that really had an interesting side to it. This race was in St. George, Utah, and so we got to the race site really early in the morning. It was still dark outside, and as racers normally do, you kind of, before the thing starts, you kind of go to the bathroom and get all that taken care of. And there was just rows and rows of porta potties, and there was no way I was going to wait for that. So I started wandering off into the woods to find a nice place to go. It was very dark, and I felt something coming. I went to kind of duck under it, and it poked me in the face, but didn't think anything of it. So then did my thing, and then came back to the race area, to the starting area, and the friend that I came with to run it looked at me, and his eyes got like this big. And he said, "Oh my goodness, what did you do?" And I said, "What?" And he goes, "You're bleeding out of your eye." So I went to the first aid truck. I went inside, and they're looking at me. I looked in the mirror, and I had torn the whole bottom of my eyelid wide open. And at that moment, I thought, I can't run this race. I can't do it. This thing is too bad. But then I thought, I've got to do this. I've spent so much time preparing for this, and months and months of training, that I just have to do this. And so the race started, and as in any race, especially in marathons, when you start running those first few miles, you feel like $1 million. You just feel like you could keep this pace up forever and ever. And it was beautiful out, the sun was starting to come up. And then, about 6 or 7 miles in, you just start locking in and get your pace going. But you're now into a race that's gonna go on for a while. And then you come to about the halfway mark. And that's when you go, okay, this is gonna be tough. I've gotta concentrate. And you just gotta hunker down. To be honest, I wasn't even thinking about my eye at that point in time. And then you hit the wall. Typically at about 18 miles to 20 miles, the whole thing's 26 miles. That's when I started to think, can I really finish this race? And as I got to about 3 miles from the finish line, you see people starting to line up along the area that you're running. They're cheering and clapping, and when they got to me, they looked at me and started cheering and smiling, and then all of a sudden they got this horrified look on their faces. I went by, and my bandage had come down and pretty much completely came off, and blood was just trickling down my face, and this big gash opened up on my eye, and they were just horrified as I went by, and it kind of shook me up, their reaction to me. Everything inside me just wanted to stop. My body just wanted to let go, but there was no way that was going to happen. And so I pressed on as hard as I possibly could and came to the finish line and crossed. I finished the race, and it was just an amazing feeling, and it was worth it all. I truly ran to the hospital. Do you want me to say any of that? And after that, I actually had to run another 6 miles to the hospital to get stitched up.